I'm Cameron Briggs from Origin Energy, Australia's biggest energy company, and I run the Future Energy Group, and I'm based in Silicon Valley in California. Renewable energy is growing in terms of its deployment, primarily now because the price of it has come down so much. And as we deploy more renewable energy into our market, we're going to see some changes. I think the price of energy is going to fluctuate from being high at certain times to low and in fact negative in some cases. And that's going to lead people to think about energy in a different way, perhaps much more focused on when energy is used, how it is used. One of the most cost-effective ways of doing that is looking at utilizing the assets that exist today in a better way. And part of that is working with customers to understand how they can incentivize and motivate their customers to use energy at optimum times for the system that's going to help stabilize those renewable energy resources. So if you think about the way in which we optimize energy at a household level, the interesting thing about solar energy that we all know, the sun shines during the day, and often families aren't home during the day. They might be at work, they might be at school. And so in that circumstance, you have to think about how do you match up the fact that when you generate energy, you don't use it. And that's a matter of, say, understanding what assets they have, where they might have batteries, and helping people then make sure that they have enough energy in their batteries so that when the sun's not shining, they can use some of that energy they've generated during the day. If you then expand that beyond the household into the local area, you obviously have a network that sits around that connects up all those houses, and that network has constraints and limitations. And if you can actually coordinate when and how energy is used at that local level, it makes it much more efficient and lowers the cost in terms of delivering that energy. Suddenly they're going to have to become experts in a number of different things they're not good at. It might be communication technologies in terms of talking to the end devices. It might be controlling them, and it might be coordinating them. And these new capabilities, particularly around the data space, are going to challenge energy companies because they don't necessarily have a huge amount of skill in that area, particularly around the security of that, the authentication, the data governance that sits around that. And I think finding the right partners who are aligned with what you want to do and want to work with you to do that is going to be really key to succeeding. I think one of the most fundamental expectations in society is that when you come home and turn the lights on, they work, and they rely on you and they expect that to work. So I think there's an inherent level of trust in working with an energy company just around that basic provision of service. And I think that's something that you've worked very hard to maintain, and something that you really must really preserve and cherish. And so as you move into new areas, it's extremely important that you maintain that trust relationship and make customers feel they're in control as you change the way you interact with them and perhaps offer them different products and services.